Hi everyone. As you know, we are now experiencing the full moon in Taurus is peaking, and I definitely wanted to have to provide the guided messages for each of the zodiac sign, so you guys know how to deal with this kind of energies. Those videos, it seems, have been quite useful to you, the recent ones that I was doing. So let's continue with the trend. I'm welcoming you from Manhattan, New York today. Hello to those who are in New York area. And yeah, let's get started. So for each zodiac sign, I will pull one oracle card from the Keepers of the Light deck. So we'll get a guided message, and then I'll pull some tarot cards as well from Light Series Tarot. And yeah, we'll see what do you need to know specifically. The full moons are about, on the one hand, about illuminating something to you that was hidden, that was not known, that maybe you wanted to, you knew there was some kind of blind spot there, but you couldn't really put your finger on it. And this is the time when it gets illuminated. On the other hand, full moons are times of release, of closure, of letting go of something that doesn't serve, the kind of Eight of Cups energy, if you wish. So see for yourself where it resonates more, and it could be multiple topics actually. The Taurus energy brings us back to the material values that we have, and also to the general values in life and priorities, right? It's also about comforts in life. Taurus loves their comfort. They love to feed their senses, all of them, right? So think about your five senses, even your sixth sense for that matter, and how much time do you pay to that, to creating something in your life that looks beautiful, that sounds great, that feels good, that smells good, right? If there's something you can do for yourself today, this could be connected to some kind of you time, self-care time, when you could be indulging at least one of your senses in a new way, in a powerful way. And that's how you really connect to that Taurus energy. And before you know it, you may have breakthroughs and insights that you could never imagine. All right, so we'll start with Taurus, and I'll go around the zodiacal cycle. First, we're starting with Taurus because the full moon is in Taurus. Although, of course, as always, to recommend listening to messages for sun, moon, and rising, and then figuring out what resonates most, or you can combine those messages together and have a more kind of across the board message. All right, let's go. So for Taurus, the oracle card is Green Terra. How appropriate for an earth sign, right? That's another thing I forgot to mention, but you Tauruses get that message as part of your message since you've got Green Terra, that it's an earth sign. So if you want to do any kind of rituals, going into nature and working with the earth would benefit you greatly. And of course, with full moon rituals, we can put down things that we want to release, right? And since we're talking about earth, it can be quite literally, ground, soil, and you could bury those things that you want to get rid of, that you want to have a closure on, for example, right? Okay, supreme protection. You're protected. Cords have been cut. Moved beyond limitations. Trust that you're ready for that next step, Taurus, whatever that is for you. The universe is helping you cut the cords. You are being divinely protected. Let's see what else the Taurus need to know about this full moon. We have the Strengths, the Six of Wands, and the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, so keep going with it, right? Put in the work, and that's something that earth signs are really good at, right? The hard work, putting in the hours, putting in the reps. It's gonna bring you the success that you want and even beyond that. But yes, it will take courage. So it means stepping outside of your comfort zone. It means doing something different, reviewing what you've been doing so far, if you have, and then seeing how can you improve, or where you actually deep down already know that you haven't given your 100%, or that method or that activity or that behavior hasn't served you at all, but you keep doing it anyway, right? This is something to consider. Okay, that was Taurus. I'm just gonna put the tarot cards back in and do a quick shuffle. Now we're gonna go for Gemini. And by the way, if you like what I'm doing, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you're new. Hello. And of course you can share it and you can leave your comments. Let me know if you'd like to have more of these videos. So Geminis, you have Saint Germain, karma releasing. Yeah, big time closure of karmic cycles on full moon. Move beyond drama, create your own path, make room for good energy. So especially if you feel like there's so much going on, and I know it's easy for any of us to be in that space right now with everything that's going on in the world in general, right? There's so much drama, so much conflict, so much overwhelm connected to it, right? And plus our personal lives and, you know, the turmoil that goes on there, right? But it's important to go into the good energy. Make room for it, create your own path, and do not despair and do not think that, you know, this is the world we live in, so, you know, of course I can't count on, I don't know, being happy, finding abundance, connecting with someone on a deeper level, right? Because it's just all messed up. No, that's not the story that you want to go in with. Create space for good energy. So for Gemini, we have the moon, we have Ace of Cups, the moon is very fitting, right? And Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, so for you, it's gonna be, and of course, the moon card shows you the full moon, so a little bit on the nose, but notice the artwork in this deck specifically, right? And there is this illumination, so like this person gets some new insight, but they're also underwater, so it's almost like you are getting insights in the middle of a conflict, of maybe inner conflict or some kind of drama that's happening in your life, right? It's really hard to pay attention to that. Like imagine you're actually underwater and then you see this beautiful moonlight come through. Are you going to be paying attention to the moonlight? No, probably to the fact that you're drowning underwater, right? So don't be too hard on yourself to get those insights immediately, right? Take care of yourself first. Show yourself love. Take good care of yourself and put yourself in the energy of at least the balance, if not thriving, at least balance and grounded energy. And from there, you can have those insights, that new inspiration, and you will see the steps that you need to take next. Okay, that was Gemini. Thank you very much, Geminis, for joining me. The next sign we're gonna go for is going to be Cancer. And I'll use this moment while I do shuffle to say that I have a show on Bold and Brave TV around mindfulness and wellness. So please join me for that show every Friday, 6 p.m. EST. There is a playlist on this channel with the same name, Mindfully Awake, that you can check out for the episodes that have already aired. And I add those after every new one. I'll add the link to today's episode later today. But yeah, it's on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, X, and all the podcast platforms. The Shekinah, interesting, sacred self. I actually saw this in a different reading today, this card specifically. Unleash your spirit, this is Cancer. Unleash your spirit, express your gifts, dance to the sacred rhythm of life. It's almost like you don't need to work very hard to express yourself or to find the inspiration for something creative, for something innovative. It's more about, you know, the mood that you approach it with, the energy that you put in, and the confidence that you have, right? And it's easier said than done a lot of times. But the extended message for this was that it's time to celebrate your sacred self and the fact that even your presence, you know, in this world makes an impact on its own. So it's not like you need to jump through hoops or, you know, reinvent the wheel or make an important scientific discovery to make an impact in the world. It's easier than that, and you're already doing it, even if you don't know. Seven of Cups for Cancer, Ace of Swords, and I apologize for the sirens. I'm in Manhattan, so this is unfortunately a usual sound here. It's like a soundtrack. I'm actually, in these moments, I'm grateful that I'm not living here permanently, but this is a short stay for me. And Knight of Swords. So you have 2 sword cards, very interesting, right? And there's a truth that somewhere you may be running away from something, maybe running away from yourself and your happiness and your story, your future that you want to create. You know, you have a lot of opportunities, and even that may be overwhelming. That could be something that you're running away from through some kind of coping mechanism or some kind of story you're telling to yourself, and you think that that's the truth, but it really isn't, right? So approach it from the way of that, from the position of that sacred self, and treat yourself as a, you know, that sacred grail, you know, something really, really valuable, something and someone, right? Something meaning the energy that you have so much to share with the world. The world is your oyster, but it's about the story you're going to tell. So it's very important to believe in that you're partaking, whether it's a relationship or a new hobby or some kind of new project that you are doing, or even learning something new for yourself. Next, we're going to go into Leo. Leo, your oracle card is Mercury, open communication. Get a weight off your chest. Speak up with love and be heard. Yeah, so a lot of us actually know quite a lot about Mercury energy through Mercury retrogrades, because when that happens, and by the way, we have another one coming up pretty soon. When that happens, we usually know that, you know, it's Mercury is responsible for communication and transportation. That also includes technology. So when Mercury is in retrograde, communication gets messed up between people, like actual communication, and also technology gets messed up, right? So that's how we kind of know what this is about. So this is obviously, we want to put the positive message here. The Mercury is here to provide space for open communication, but it needs to be authentic. It needs to be very honest, right? And that's when, if you speak up with love, even if the message seems negative or seems like it's gonna, or you actually know that it's gonna upset the other person, you can still deliver it with love. Even if you are upset, you can still deliver it with love. And the message will go across and you will be heard. And this is a very important message, especially if you've been putting it off for a while. This is the time now, because that's gonna give you the release. The full moon is supporting that for you, Leo. Okay, with Tarot, we have Judgment. We have the Queen of Wands, beautiful, and Three of Swords. Yeah, so I'm getting that it's almost like you're afraid to be seen in all your power, in all your beauty. This is fire, this is your element, Leo. But you're afraid for people to see you that way because of the previous heartbreak, or people not necessarily supporting you in that image of yourself. You're shining so bright that for some people it was a motive or an instinct to, you know, to hurt you or to upset you or even to reject you on some level, right? But the truth is coming through right now, right? The divine is supporting you in you expressing yourself and having an open communication with a particular person and with the world in general. And guess what? The very first step, or step 0 if you wish, starts with you communicating honestly with yourself. That's a real thing, and it's really important. Otherwise, if it's hard for you to admit the truth to yourself, imagine how difficult it will be to admit to another person. Unless, of course, you're actually having a session with a professional who's helping you remove the blocks and, you know, see any kind of blind spots, right? That could be a thing. Okay, we're gonna move on to Virgo. You have Lady Portia, the Divine Order. Love this. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. Yeah, Virgo is actually very good at following the instruction and following the order of things, right? Very good with habits, with routine, in a good way, right? Because actually a lot of times the reason that people don't make progress in whatever they're partaking is they're not consistent with it. It's hard for them to stick to it and keep doing it on a regular basis, like regularly enough, right? To have enough repetitions to succeed with it. Virgo are excellent at that. Their attention to detail helps, of course, right? What an important lesson is unfolding. So keep doing what you're doing, right? Everything is unfolding in divine order. Divine order is also about the divine timing, of course, right? So don't rush the lesson or some kind of conclusion or wisdom or information. It's like, okay, I need to know this now. You know, like I need to know now if this relationship is going to work out or not. It's going to be revealed to you in the right timing. Let's see what we have with tarot for Virgo. We have the Two of Pentacles, the Emperor. This is Aries energy. It could be dealing with an Aries, and Seven of Wands. Oh, I love this. Yeah, so this is a lot about stop overthinking or doubting yourself and go and find your rhythm, find your vibe, right? You are in charge of your life, right? You have that power. You can't have somebody else dictate what to do first or what you can or cannot do in life, right? Because this is a lot about kind of like jumping between at least two things, maybe several things, juggling, trying to keep the lights on everywhere, but not really giving like true attention to the right thing, right? And this is for you to go within and figure out what is the right thing, you know, to ask that question to your higher self, to your higher power, whatever that is for you during this time. Again, full moon illuminates. So through meditation, through prayer, through mindfulness techniques, you can ask those questions and receive an answer. What is going to be the next step now? Okay, that was Virgo. Now we'll go into Libra. So Libra, your oracle message is Kalima, facing fear. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. I love how all these cards are about like major changes unfolding, but it actually makes sense. So, you know, facing fear is the most important thing that you can do right now. And facing fear doesn't mean that you need to go from one extreme to the other, right? But it's about changing the pattern or changing the habit, right? It's like, okay, if I was afraid to put myself out there at all, I'm gonna start doing that, maybe little by little, right? And set yourself some reasonable goals, right? I'll do something, I don't know, maybe I'll post on social media, right? Maybe I'll start networking at live events, depending on what's the context of putting yourself out there, right? Like, it doesn't have to be, you know, I'm gonna host a public event next month, right? It can be something smaller as long as you're making progress, and that's going to be the way you face your fear, and you will see how the fear will step away gradually. What do we have with tarot for Libra? We have the Hanged Man, we have Six of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. Yeah, so this is about seeing the situation differently, for sure. Whatever that is, it could be a relationship, could be a relationship with a water sign. It could be just an interaction with the world on like, okay, how do I make a difference, right? How do I share what I have? And I have a lot to share, right? Especially emotionally, like things that I've been through in my life. And I feel like it can help others. And I'd like to start sharing more of that. Right? If it's a relationship, it's like, yeah, this is supposed to be an equal partnership. And seeing it that way, seeing it in a different way is what you need right now. So maybe you are more like drilled down into like, this has to be like, I'm doing this for you, that means I expect you to do the same for me, right? And it's not really always like that. And it's actually quite rare that people do things exactly the same way towards each other in a relationship. Right? For different reasons, and not because they're trying to take advantage of you, right? So this is like you're considering what that equal give and take is, right? Or maybe it's the other way around, and you've been doing so much for the other person, and now you're like, okay, I need to dial it back, and I really need to kind of like build boundaries, right? King of Cups is quite reserved. They don't really give out that much, or at least they don't give out too much. In today's show, I'm going to be talking about energy leaks and drainage, right? So King of Cups doesn't leak their energy, right? They give it away at the right time, the right amount, right? It's more of that calm and balanced approach. They value their energy. That's what's important. And maybe that's something that you're realizing now, right? The illumination is here. Okay, that was Libra. For Scorpio, the oracle card is the divine director, intervention and purpose. Ooh. So first of all, you are being divinely, let's actually read. Divine intervention is occurring, and happiness is your purpose. You know, divine intervention is occurring, know that you're being guided. So the steps are being laid out for you. You just need to notice them, to be able to read the signs, to recognize the synchronicities, or to ask your guides for questions. For advice, you know, ask questions. And happiness is your purpose. That's like number one responsibility that you have in this lifetime, before anything else. And for a lot of people, this is something new that they don't really have synced down. They don't have that deep in their consciousness and subconsciousness, right? So that's maybe something, some new kind of reality to adapt for yourself. Okay, quick shuffle. Let's see what we have for Scorpio. Scorpio is the energy opposite to Taurus, which is the energy we're talking about today. So for you, it may actually be a little bit different angle to it, right? Like Scorpios are good at taking risks and making change. And Taurus could be asking you or showing you where you need to have more stability or stick with something, right? To put in more effort and really believe in it rather than just keep going for something else. Or going for something big and impressive. So you have Three of Cups. I love this. This is connected with happiness. The Hermit and the Moon. Right. So yeah, very interesting. Look at the colors, by the way, right? And these are not like sequential cards at all. And they're not about the same thing at all. But on the one hand, there is this happiness and celebration. Find things to celebrate, Scorpio. And not like, oh yeah, Christmas is coming, or Thanksgiving is going to be here. That's going to be a good thing to celebrate. No. Something more personal. And no, it doesn't have to be by yourself. Of course, we see some friends here, some, you know, companionship. But I'm saying don't just decide that a public holiday counts as a celebration. It may well be, but think of something else, something that's a little bit more specific to you, where you can really outline what you are celebrating today. And on the other hand, there is a lot of guidance that's coming in, and we see this major arcanas here. So that's the part where you're being guided. So you're being shown, first of all, this to me is connected to the purpose, because the main message was intervention and purpose. For you to revisit your purpose in life. What are you doing? What is your main occupation? How is it aligned with what you feel your purpose is, where your talents are, where your passion is, where your happiness is, right? How to connect happiness with what you're dedicating your life to. Again, for a lot of people, those are different things, unfortunately, right? So the full moon is going to illuminate. And I was just talking about this specific moon card to another sign that had it, that in this particular deck, it's like this person is drowning. So it's more like, definitely if you're in crisis, if you are in despair, get yourself to safety first. And then start contemplating the meaning of life and the purpose and how you may have been preventing yourself from going into that happy place, right? But get yourself into grounded and balanced space first. And it feels like time with friends, some kind of celebration, maybe going away for a little while could help with that big time. Okay, that was Scorpio. Next, we're gonna go into Sagittarius. So, Sagittarius, your oracle message is Mary Magdalene, teacher awakens. Beautiful. Did you know you were a teacher, Sagittarius? Yes, you are. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call. Don't let anything stop you. And when we say teacher, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're an actual certified instructor of some sort, or you're a professor at a university, right? First of all, sharing is as simple as sharing it with your friends and family. sharing a story on social media, something that gave you breakthroughs, and it will definitely inspire somebody else. Also, teaching could well be parenting, right? And in parenting, we inevitably teach our young something from our own story and our own knowledge of the world, of the life, right? So there are many modalities of how this teaching could look like, but it's very important to support this awakening of a teacher in you, right? This leadership role, let's put it that way. What message do we have for Sagittarius? Six of Cups, okay. Four of Swords, and Page of Swords. Yeah, that's that learning, right? But it's time for the student to be the teacher. So you've been doing some kind of learning for yourself, to heal, to grow, to close off some unfulfilled reality for yourself, right? So somewhere where you struggled, right? You've been doing your homework. Good job for you, and some healing for that matter, right? Now it's like reconnecting with maybe even your childhood dream, some kind of vision that you've had for a long time. This is your soul speaking to you right now, and your inner child, yes. And no matter how reasonable or unreasonable it seems, it doesn't matter. It's about going back into that sense of joy and happiness, and something that you want to do. And it doesn't have to be from like a very little kid, right? Maybe it was, you experienced that joy of doing that specific thing when you were a teenager in high school, right? It could be something more mature, but maybe you didn't really give it an honest try, or you thought that wasn't serious. And now it's coming back around to you, and you're like, oh yeah, I used to do that a lot, or I used to be into it. I actually had, great skills in this. So give that a chance and know that that's the calling of your soul that's asking you for it. It's not just, a waste of time, or, kind of excuse, or whatever people sometimes say it may be. If it's not serious enough, if it doesn't resonate with the rest of your life, if your friends and family don't support it, right? This is about you, not them. Okay, next we go into Capricorn. So your oracle message is Cornine. Care and compassion. Choose to be loved. Do what is right for everyone involved. Offer a helping hand. Compassion and support. Is there anyone in your life that needs that? Do you need that, Capricorn? Right? Again, a lot of times we immediately jump to helping others, even if we are having a hard time ourselves. But you know how they say that you put mask in the emergency on a plane, you put the mask on yourself first and then on the person next to you, even if it's a child, even if you know by definition that they cannot help themselves, right? That's the point, because if you aren't gonna make it, then you definitely cannot help somebody else. Or if you are depleted of your energy, there's not much that you have to give. The only way that you would be doing that is actually like draining yourself even more. And that's not a loving way to go about things. And if anything, it's a longer story, but you will be attracting some negative karma to yourself. Capricorn, your tarot now. Page of Pentacles, King of Cups, and Six of Wands. Yeah, so you may feel like you're starting small. You may feel like there is not a lot that you can give, right? But it's more about finding that balance, bringing your emotions into a grounded and peaceful state. And then you can conquer the world, and you can help the world. Yes. You can be very successful with helping the world, whatever that care and compassion vibe is for you, right? The way you take care of your family, the way you take care of your partner, the way you helped your friend in that very difficult situation, the way you talk to your children, could be anything. But it's important to move with it, even if you don't really see a lot of potential in it yet. Pages are about potential, actually. So this is a confirmation that there's huge potential. If you look at the size of that pentacle here, the potential is huge. And not just like for yourself and your own benefit, right? In terms of the abundance that you can create with it. If you trust yourself, you trust the process. All right, next we go into Aquarius. Your oracle message is Lord Shiva, the transcendence. Rise up, honor your inner force. Steps are being given. Dance with the universe. I love this so much. I mean, I am a dancer, so it speaks to me directly, but dance with the universe. How poetic and beautiful is that? Think for yourself, how can you do that? And the dance may look like painting something, may look like singing, it may look like spending time in nature and going for a hike, right? But you're conversing with the universe in those ways, right? When you're expressing your soul, when you connect to, actually to your inner voice, because we have it here, inner force, sorry. Honor your inner force. Okay, the messages that we have for Aquarius. The Queen of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, and Five of Wands. So I'm hearing that this could be a person you may be dealing with, could be a water sign, or they have a lot of water in their chart, right? But what I'm seeing is that before, and this could be a very lucrative relationship, Aquarius, but before going for that, it doesn't have to be a woman, take gender how it resonates, this is just the energy. But before you're really ready to take this on and to have a balanced relationship there, it's important to understand for yourself who you are and what you want and why. Why is this person catching your eye? What do you believe you can build together and why? How does it resonate with your personal journey in life? Or are you going to abandon your individuality and what you do for yourself just to be here, right? Very important questions. And, you know, you may be influenced by other people at this time who are kind of pushing you into that direction. Or if it's a relationship, maybe your other friends are all in relationships and you aren't, and that's pushing you towards starting one. But is it a good reason to do that? Those are all good questions for you to look into. And again, to find some insights with this full moon. So the Lord Shiva card was about transcendence. So basically, it's time for you to elevate yourself, to go into deeper awakening, to ascend, right? And it's very important to make choices that will be in alignment with that and that will support your core, your inner force, really, you know, your soul. Okay, that was Aquarius. Now it's Pisces. Pisces, your oracle message is Gaia, Earth connection. Be mindful of the planet. Come back to Earth. Stay grounded. Yeah, it may be actually quite difficult for Pisces to stay grounded and come back to Earth. But I like that this is partly about the environment. And what I was saying at the very beginning about connecting to nature, this definitely supports that message. And maybe for you specifically, Pisces, it's super important. It's extra important to do. And if you do meditation or any kind of other mindfulness technique, if possible, do it outside. Do it in nature. That's part of how you're going to be honoring nature. You don't really need to do something extraordinary to show that appreciation. Pisces, your tarot reading now. It's Hermit, the Devil, and Page of Wands. Yeah, so a lot of karmic rebalancing is happening for you at this time. And I like this, to me, is also a little bit of a kind of a ritual or a dance, right? So really look into the ways that you can maybe show respect and maybe honor Mother Earth by doing some kind of ritual. But more importantly, this is opening you up to some kind of new reality, a new view on life, if anything, right? It's time of healing, but healing is not going to come easy with this Devil card. It's about cleansing of old beliefs and of things that came from trauma. Because when we go through something traumatic in life, our body, our nervous system builds a coping mechanism around it to prevent us from going through that pain again. And yeah, sometimes it's completely repressed, so we don't remember and we don't suffer even through our memories. Sometimes it's the mechanism that doesn't seem that bad on the surface, but it's preventing us from really going within and showing our true potential, right? So that pattern is being healed right now. And it's a general message, so up to you to recognize what it could be, right? But it's time for healing. It's time to put that to bed. It's time to move beyond that limitation. Okay, and last but not least, we have Aries. Aries, your oracle message is the Holy Spirit. Expect miracles. Oh, I love this. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. Yay, miracles. We love that. It's true that full moons are often times of tower moments, so of abrupt changes. But it may be a shock, it may come as a shock. It may feel bizarre in the moment and unsettling, right? Again, our brain doesn't like those kind of surprises, but it's actually a blessing in disguise. So trust that. That's what I'm hearing for you, Aries. Your tarot, the sun, look at that. So much happiness here. Three of Pentacles and Ace of Swords. Yeah, so there is some kind of new project that is coming into your reality that is going to be really beneficial for you, that's going to give you a lot of joy and happiness and more healing, actually, right? That's another side of the sun card. But you need to go into it with a very honest outlook on why you are doing it and what are you trying to get with it, right? What's your goal? Be very honest with yourself about it, and then the right people will come along, especially if you're putting it off because you feel like you don't have what it takes, or you'll need other people but you don't really have anyone specific in mind, right? Like, the resources are going to come along, and that includes people, finances, time, anything you need, as long as you're being really honest about why you're doing this, and this is in alignment with your authentic self, you know, with what makes your soul happy and joyful and prideful. I'm hearing, you know, this is Leo energy, so why not? Okay, this was a message for Aries. I am gonna close it out here. Thank you so much for joining me for this, guys. I love you all. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel, and until next time.